Jets now 6-7 on the season. They put an end to that 3-game losing streak. And more importantly, they saw their quarterback respond. Benched last week, got up off the canvas, played well today, threw a touchdown pass for the first time since basically week 7. The Jets put up 37 points on the board, the most points they've scored all season long. This is what you wanted to see out of your team. Listen, there was the Oakland team that came in very injured, but hey, this is the National Football League. This isn't the BCS. Has nothing to do with style points. You beat them down, and you move on, and that's what the Jets did.
Yeah, no question about that today. I mean, and I thought this for Brian for a change. The offense actually was the better unit today. They really won this football game. You know, you want to give me the Atlanta game? This might have been Geno's best game of the year. It really might have been. Now, he could have been picked off. He was picked off once. He could have been picked off 3 times. But I thought he ran the ball well. He made some good throws today. And I thought the Jeremy Curley coming back was huge for the Jets today.
He used his legs, Ray, something that, you know, he's played well whenever he's used his legs as a weapon, and he used them to perfection today. Scored on a touchdown, and that long run he did. And it was great knowledge where he went back. Sometimes he relies on that arm too much because he knows he can make big throws. But he ran, and it was the right decision.
Well, again, you wanted to see his decision-making process be better today, and Joe's right. Could have been 3, but it was only 1. Stared down the receiver on that play. But, again, I think this is Geno's game. When he drops back and you keep him clean, he can make every single throw that there is to make on the football field. But the aspect of his game that hasn't really come to fruition is his athletic ability. When the way he can run out of the pocket, he can cause defensive coordinators fits, Brian, when he's on.
And not only the offense, but how about special teams? You get a punt block and a touchdown. First time that's happened since like 2011. You got some good play. Defense, a little shaky, Joe, but offensively and special teams, you got to like what you saw.
Well, it was amazing. I thought the defense, it seemed like they couldn't get out of their own way today. I noticed that Snacksy got benched there in the second half for Kendrick Ellis after them 2 big runs that they had. And it was going to show you the defensive line, who's usually the dominant side of the defense, wasn't getting it done defensively. The defensive backs also gave up some big plays. But the special teams, the coverage teams on a kickoff today, I mean, the Raiders returned a lot of balls. They didn't have anything over 20 yards. So those 2 aspects, they did well. But I felt the defense, I just had that feeling like all during the game they weren't going to put it away, and they really didn't.
Well, I've got to tell you, welcome. This is Jets Post Game Live. Brian Custer alongside Joe Klecko, Ray Luke. Hey, Joe Benigno's back from WFAN. Jets win it, now 6-7 on the season. Since we were just talking about the defense, one interesting thing going into this game, and we talked about the Jets up front, you know, best rush defense, run defense in the league. Yeah. The Oakland Raiders, 5th best running team in the league. And you're thinking, okay, this should be a great matchup. But the Raiders' top 3 running backs were out. And they still ran for over 100 yards.
But Marcel Reese, I mean, this guy is no slouch. I mean, he's a Pro Bowl fullback, but I think everybody's eyes are opened up now to see that this guy can run the ball between the tackles and outside. He's a fantastic receiver. So, you know, even though the 3 guys were hurt, this guy can play football, Brian.
And really today the defense got hit with really 2 big plays when you break it down, Brian. That 60-something yard run for a touchdown by Reese right up the gut. And then that other play, too, I guess it was Streeter, where it looked like, you know, Cromartie and Ed Reed kind of knocked each other off the play. Somehow the ball got in there, and they got hit for a big touchdown there. So I thought the defense was kind of shaky today. Not a great pass rush today. They did get a couple sacks late by Copels, one by Copels, one by Pace. But I thought the defense didn't play its best today by any stretch.
Well, the interesting thing was, the interesting thing was that, you know, McGowan only had 71 yards passing in the first half. That was it. In the second half, he had over 200. I mean, he was lighting them up. And as you guys saw, he had a lot of time to throw. So that was one of the things I think I'm sure you're going to hear Rex Ryan say that he was a little discouraged about from a defensive standpoint, not getting the pressure on that guy. And remember, Oakland even put in Terrell Pryor early because they didn't like the way McGowan was playing. Thought maybe he'd shake him up a little bit, put Pryor in there for 1 series, then brought him back in.
That was a big surprise, really, because if you want to keep the rhythm basically in your starting quarterback, the worst thing you want to do is be pulling him in and out of the game. I think there's something behind that we don't know. I believe the defense from the defense defensive side of the ball, these guys up front, they started to bring it, especially from the edges late in the game, which we usually see the rush come from the inside, where Richardson and Snaxy, them guys put a big push on the inside. That didn't happen today. I think that's a concern for Rex right now, because not for naught, it's an attitude at this time of year. You're hanging on by your teeth. I don't know if the Ravens lost or won today, where the playoff look.
Right.
They were down 12-7 last we
Here's
saw.
my problem with everything. You got a rookie quarterback. You got a genius as a defensive coordinator in Rex Ryan, and he was standing up all game, and especially in the second half, even when he was drifting in the pocket, and he has that Geno syndrome where once he hits his fifth step, he keeps going backwards.
Yes,
he had all day to throw, and you can't expect safeties and cornerbacks to cover for more than 4 seconds. It's just not possible. And again, I think that shocked me the most, that they didn't really confuse McGloin. I mean, he just was back there throwing the football, Brian. And to me, that gives me pause, because the strength of this, defense is the front seven and the way they put pressure on the quarterback, Joe. I thought they were going to confuse him. I thought they would have had a couple more turnovers. And again, the offense played great for the first time, I'd say, in a while. And the defense, you know what? In the second half, didn't do much.
No, they didn't play that great. And I tell you, I thought it was interesting today, too, because I thought Oakland really went after Cromartie today. They really didn't go after Milner that much. Right. I thought Milner was actually okay. He missed one tackle early in the game. He had a nice pass breakup late in the game in the end zone.
Yeah, that was
But
fantastic.
They really seem to be targeting Cromartie more so than Milner today, the Raiders.